Hey everyone, and welcome to the Spirit Led Business Podcast. I'm Karen Coffey. I am a Spirit Led business coach internationally, and I have the honor and the privilege of interviewing David Saba, who is one of the top real estate coaches in North America. Welcome, David. It's really good to have you.
Thank you, Karen. It's an honor to be on your podcast. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Wow, I've known you for a couple of years now, and I have just seen how much growth you've had. So, I want to ask a couple questions for our listeners because why real estate? You have such a background in military and all these things, but now your focus is real estate coaching and working with agents. So, why real estate coaching?
I spent 11 years in the Navy as a pilot, and then I had two careers in multinational corporation as a senior executive, and then became an entrepreneur where I was involved in home construction as the owner of Savannah Millwork, and I developed a love for real estate. And after I completed all of these various uh, jobs,
Mm-hmm.
I became a realtor and I did very well in real estate. I sold five homes my first month, and that was in 2008.
Oh, when the downturn, the
And
big
God
banking
has
crisis.
blessed me. I've done very well. And now I want to give back to others because I think there's a real something missing in a lot of the real estate coaches out there. And
Mm-hmm.
from experience, I know that the license course does not prepare you to operate as a realtor, doesn't teach you how to sell, it doesn't give you any strategies or anything. And a lot of brokers don't give you much either. So
That's
this is my opportunity to give back and help to train those realtors who are struggling to make a living.
Oh, that's great. I know your heart and I know that it's so pure and it really does you want to make this impact. I know you do. So, what kind of results are you seeing with the agents that you're working with? Because I know you've seen some fantastic outcomes.
Well, most of my coaching clients and my team, who I've been coaching for 12 years, reach $100,000 of income their first year in real estate. One of my first clients came to me. She had four kids, two of them still in diapers. Her husband was in jail, and I helped her to get a job as a assistant to a realtor,
Uh-huh.
which paid her just enough money to put her other two kids in daycare. And she was a brand new realtor, and she made $100,000 her first year in real estate.
Wow. Wow. As she
And
was
this,
juggling the kids
yeah,
and
she was
daycare and
juggling the
all.
kids. She had to get two off to school, take two to daycare, and pick them up. And in all that time, she had her kids in dance and soccer and everything else under the sun, and went to all those meetings too. She just was a really busy person,
Yeah.
but she
Wow.
worked about 30 hours a week in real estate and made really good money.
Wow, that's amazing. And I think that, your background as executive, in the executive seats that you held in corporations, do you think that's helped in
Well, it
organizing
did.
them? Yeah.
My last job in corporate, I did the strategic plan and the business plan for a multi-billion dollar multinational corporation. And when I say
Mhm.
that, I didn't write the whole thing. I was
Sure.
executive editor of the business plan, came up with a lot of the strategies, analysis, and so forth. And by the way, I did a lot of real estate sales, multinational, while
Yeah.
in corporate. I bought a $70 million plant in South Korea, not me personally, but my
Yeah,
company
but the
did.
company.
I led the effort. We bought a $250 million plant in Brazil. And for another corporation, I sold a $350 million synthetic rubber plant in Texas.
Wow.
So I
Wow, that's
came into real
amazing.
estate with a lot of experience, with
Yeah.
very high level strategic experience at it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you're seeing these outcomes and I love that story because that's life. Agents
Yes.
are just they have responsibilities, they have things. It's not just all about work. So, I know that you're seeing these results, but what do you think are a few things that are keeping agents stuck?
Well, agents are not consistently executing their money generating activities several times a week.
Yeah.
And one big thing that I do that makes me stand out from other agents is white glove service.
Hmm.
And if they're not providing outstanding service, if they're just acting like, hey, I'm going to put up a sign, put it in the MLS, and pray it sells, that's not going to impress anybody. So if you don't get it sold, they're not going to extend, and they're certainly not going to recommend you to their friends because everybody does at least that. And they need to put their sphere of influence in a database, and they need to be focusing on that sphere of influence.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you're seeing results from these things. And those are just the few of the things. I mean, I know you have a long list, but those are just the few things that you're
Yes.
seeing really making and changing what the income, I've started to say outcome, but it is an outcome, but it's the income. I mean, this is why we do this. We love people, we love real estate, but it is to make a handsome living. What kind of agents, I guess, what's the perfect agents for you to work with? What do you find really helps?
Well, they have to be coachable.
Mm,
You know, if they don't want to hear it or don't want to do what's required to make money, and these are proven uh, strategies and proven tactics. If they don't want to do what's required, then it's not going to work. So they've got to be coachable. They've got to be smart enough to take what's taught and adapt it to various situations because every deal is a little bit different and is going to require a little bit different things. And they've got to be smart enough to say, okay, coach says this, and in this case, this is how this plays out. So I've got to be smart enough to adapt to the situation.
awesome. Yeah. Um, so they need to be coachable, they need to be adaptable, and you help them with those things too. You coach them through,
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
significant.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm there for them.
Yes.
When they have a question and something doesn't seem quite right in the example I gave during the coaching, then I expect them to get back in touch with me through Voxer or a call or whatever, and I will coach them through that uh, strategy and how it's going to work for this particular client or this particular house that they're buying or selling.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the things that you and I have talked about is that, it's those ones who are hungry and willing to work 30 hours a week, that
Yes.
they're hungry to succeed and they will, put the hours in. This is not a hobby, just an
Well,
occupation.
exactly. I only ask for 30 hours a week. That gives them
Mhm.
time. I want them to have a balanced lifestyle, spend time with their family, spend time on other things, and get a good night's rest
Yes,
and
which
be
means so
healthy,
much.
exercise, and everything else they need to do to have a healthy lifestyle.
That's great. That's beautiful. You know, real estate coaching's been around for a long time.
Yes.
What irritates you most about the current real estate coaching industry? What are you seeing that kind of, and you don't mention names, of course, but and I know you wouldn't, but just because you have been your boots on the ground, you're doing this work, and coaches just seem like to fly in who've never even sold real estate before. But what irritates you the most?
Well, what irritates me the most is they want a lot of money for doing not much. And most of, and I tried several coaches before I found you, Karen, and every single one of them the whole call every week was how many how many leads did you call this week? How many times did and let's sort them 30, 11 different ways
Oh,
and look at them and see, who did you call that's a buyer, who's a seller, so forth. And I'm like, that doesn't help. I can get in front of the mirror every morning and beat myself up if I didn't make my calls, but I'm motivated to make the calls.
that's right.
I need strategies and I need better strategies than send postcards out to your community for 3 years for $14,000 and hope somebody replies and lists their house with you.
That's right. That is so true. And it's just, it's the same stuff. It's the same old stuff over and over from
Right.
this
And when I
coach and that
ask a
coach. And it's like,
specific question about a specific problem, they just shrug their shoulders and say, they don't
ask
know.
your
Just call
broker.
your lead.
Yeah. All your leads. That solves everything. And I've heard that actually. Lead
Yes.
generation will solve all your real estate problems. And there is a place for that, but it is
Yes.
not in the day-to-day boots on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do that. You got to call your leads, but you have to focus. And I have strategies to focus on the right leads and not be spending the same amount with each lead because only a small percentage of them are going to do business with you. You
That's
need to
right.
figure out how to target those and spend your
Mm,
time with those and still, you know, reach out to the others, but until they give evidence they're really going to do business, you don't need to be spending hours and hours with them.
that's right. That's right. Well, what can an agent, because I think it's important that agents see themselves like, what can they realistically expect after working with you? I mean, you've worked with so many agents that you've seen and you know what this trajectory is for them. But what
Yes.
can they expect, like just out of the gate with you
Well,
or
out of the
throughout the
gate,
year?
I expect them, let's say they're a brand new agent and they've sold nothing before. I
Right.
expect them to have a sale closed in 90 days, their first sale.
Yeah.
Now, that's possible. Out of the gate, when I started real estate with no coach, no broker that taught me anything, I sold 5 properties my first month. I got 5 under contract, got
Yeah.
one closed the first month, and within the 3 months, I had all 5 of them closed and had more under contract.
Yeah.
So it is possible. I know how to do it. I teach people how to do it. But okay, that's 90 days. Then I
Hmm.
expect them to continue closing at least one a month. And by the end of 12 months, uh, I successfully have the vast majority of them selling 2 or 3 homes a month, which is going to bring in at over $8,000 a month with just 2 homes a month, which is $100,000 rate. I will have them at $100,000 rate the first year. Some of them I actually have making 100,000 the first year.
Wow. That's amazing. And for experienced agents, what?
Well, experienced agents, they might be making 50 or $60,000, or maybe they're already making 100,000 or more. By the end of the year, we have them at a rate where they've got 100,000 more income than they had coming into the program.
Amazing.
Typically, they're running about $250,000 if
Yeah.
they've got the appropriate experience and the other criteria. They need to be coachable, working 30 hours a week, and follow the strategies that we develop together. And those strategies might be a little different for each person. This is one-on-one coaching.
This is customizable,
Yes,
and I have seen the agents that you work with absolutely adding that 100,000, most of
yes,
them being in that 200. So, and then for the new agent to be able, again, not to tell their family, oh, yeah, I made $16,000 last year.
yeah.
And that's an embarrassing place to be. But you take them to that 100,000. And I know your strategies, I know they work and they're amazing. If someone wanted to just reach out to you, or do you have anything that you would offer anyone that is watching that, either as any kind of a gift, or how do they reach out to you?
Well, they can reach me at on my cell phone,
Okay.
401-4312, which we will attach at the end of this interview. My email is david@savannahhomes.org, which we will put at the end of the video. If they reach out to me, I'm running a holiday special right now.
Okay.
First of all, I'm offering a 1 hour coaching session for $100, which is a huge discount. And you don't have to sign up for any more. At the end of that, you can decide if you want to work with me on an ongoing basis or not.
Is there any last thing that you want to add, or I can ask, like, is there anything else you want to mention, David, or
Well, I
maybe?
just want to say that I'm very excited about the prospect of working with each and every individual who cares to get some coaching. And I'm here for you. This isn't about me. It's not about, I don't need to work right now. I've got several incomes coming in, but you know, I have to do something. I can't, I don't play golf. I don't have a big hobby like that other than a little bit of traveling, photography and family. But I'm here to work with you. I give back to the community in a number of ways, and this is one way I do it. But to cover my expenses and so forth, I do have to charge for my coaching, and I would love to work with you.
That's amazing, David, really. And the thing is, you're giving back and you say, yeah, I don't have a hobby. But you're giving back gets results. And
Yeah.
agents are seeing that income. And so, what a blessing you are. And I know you're faith-based. I know you're spirit-led. I know all of these things, about you personally, that this is why you do what you do. So, guys, if you are listening to this broadcast, please reach out to David. The information is going to be at the end. We'll post it. But thank you, David, so much. I just love what you're doing, and that's why I wanted you to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. It's an honor to be on your broadcast, and I appreciate it so much. God bless you.
Oh, God bless you. Thanks, everyone. Have an amazing day, and we'll talk soon.